Today's devotional is titled The Vow That Precedes Provision. Genesis chapter 28 to verse 20 to 22. And Jacob vowed a vow, saying, If God will be with me, and will keep me in this way that I go, and will give me bread to eat and raiment to put on, so that I come again to my father's house in peace, then shall the Lord be my God. And this stone which I have set for a pillar shall be God's house, and all that thou shalt give me, I will surely give the tenth unto thee. Jacob's tithe began in the heart and intention, not in immediate wealth. The act of consecration, vowing a portion to God, precedes the material fulfillment. When Jacob made his vow at Bethel, he possessed nothing. He was fleeing from his brother's anger, sleeping on stones, traveling alone without servants or possessions. Yet in that place of emptiness, he made a covenant with God that included tithing from what he did not yet have. This reveals a profound spiritual principle. Consecration precedes manifestation. The heart's devotion is established before the hand's distribution. True devotion starts with a pledge, trusting that God will supply the increase to honor it. This is faith in its purest form, not giving from abundance, but vowing from poverty, declaring allegiance before seeing provision, and establishing covenant in the wilderness without entering the promised land. Solomon understood this pattern when he wrote, Honor the Lord with thy substance, with the first fruits of thine increase. So shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy presses shall burst out with new wine. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 9 to 10. The honor comes first, the filling follows. The first fruits are given before the full harvest is secured. Jacob's vow was not conditional manipulation. If you bless me, then I will give. But covenantal commitment. What you give me, I will honor you with the tenth. This distinction is critical. He wasn't bargaining with God, but establishing the terms of his stewardship before receiving anything to steward. The vow acknowledged that all future increase would belong to the first to God, that prosperity would not make him forget his dependence, and that wealth would not become an idol, displacing the giver. True devotion starts with a pledge, trusting that God will supply the increase to honor it. This confronts our natural tendency to wait until we have access before we give, to secure our own comfort before considering God's portion, to establish our financial stability before honoring Him with our substance. But kingdom economics operate differently. Jesus taught, Give and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down and shaken together, and running over, shall men give unto your bosom. For with the same measure that you mete withal, it shall be measured to you again. Luke 6, verse 38. The giving activates the receiving. The vow of consecration opens the channel of provision. Jacob left Bethel with nothing but a promise and a vow. Years later, he returned with flocks, herds, servants, wives, and children, abundance beyond measure. His prosperity was not accidental but covenantal, rooted in the vow he made when he had nothing. Establish your consecration today, not when you have wealth to give, but while you still trust God to provide it. Let your pledge precede your prosperity. Your devotion anticipate your increase, and your vow of faithfulness be spoken before the blessing arrives to test it. Today's reflection question is, have you established your covenant of consecration with God, vowing to honor Him with what He will provide? Or are you waiting for abundance before committing to devotion? Today's prayer is, Lord, like Jacob, I vow today to honor you with all that you will give me. My consecration begins now before the increase manifests. Supply what I need to fulfill this pledge and give me my heart, give keep my heart faithful in Jesus' name. The next step is that you should make a specific vow to God today about how you will honor Him with future increase, whether through tithing, generosity, or consecrated service, trusting Him to provide what you need to fulfill it.